Good morning everyone. Welcome to the video lecture on Design of Machine Elements 1 Part 2. So in the previous class we have discussed about the introduction to machine design, what is machine design, what are the phases of machine design, and what is the procedure to design a mechanical member, and some of the mechanical properties we have studied. So in addition to the properties we have discussed in the previous class, one more property, that is resilience. So that is very important point we have missed in the previous class. So that we will discuss today. So resilience is nothing but it is the capacity of a material to absorb the energy elastically. For example, if we apply a load on a mechanical member, then the mechanical member will absorb that energy, and when the load is released, it will give back the same energy which it is already absorbed. So this kind of capacity to absorb the energy is nothing but a resilience. So the maximum energy which can be stored in a body up to elastic limit is called as a proof resilience, and the proof resilience per unit volume is also known as a modulus of resilience. So one example is given here. So this tube is loaded with some force, say F, or a pressure 10,000 Pascal for instance, and when the this mechanical member is loaded, then it will absorb the energy, and when the load is released, again it is giving back the same energy which is already absorbed. So the same is provided in the stress strain diagram. So here the area under the stress strain diagram within the elastic limit is the resilience. So the resilience can be determined with the help of stress strain diagram. Okay, next, the codes. So codes are the set of instructions used for analysis, design and manufacturing of a product. So in the previous class we have discussed about what is the design procedure and how the forces are to be analyzed and all. So once the designs are confirmed, we need to go for manufacturing of that particular component. So when you are going for manufacturing of a component, you must have some codes. So that codes indicates how the design is to be manufactured and all. For example, according to IS, that is International Standards 2292, the cross sectional dimension of a key for a shaft diameter up to 6 mm should be 2 mm by 2 mm. So this is what this 2 mm by 2 mm is, the cross section dimension of a key for a shaft. So this is to be set by some companies and all. So these are nothing but a codes. So codes are going to be the very important role in manufacturing of any mechanical member. Okay. Next, standards. Standards are nothing but these are the obligatory norms to which various characteristics of a product should conform, or the standard can be defined as these are the set of rules and regulation one has to undergo while designing a machine element or while manufacturing of any machine component. So here for example, if a company is manufacturing an engine, for example a company is manufacturing a ICE engine, then the company set some rule, that is what should be the size of the engine and what is the weight of the different parts of an IC engine. So these are all the rules and regulations set by a particular company. So these rules and regulations are nothing but the standards. Okay. So here okay. So next, types of standards. So types of standards are categorized into three kinds. One is company standards, another is national standards, and one more is international standards. So company standards are nothing but these are the rules by which products are manufactured in a company. For example, if any earth movers like Tata Hitachi or any other earth mover vehicles, automobile vehicles, are to be manufactured in a BEML company, that is Bharat Earth Movers Limited company. So they will set some rules to manufacture that particular vehicle or automobile, right? So those are the company standards. For example, BEL, BHEL. So these are the standard companies which are setting some rules and regulation to manufacture that particular component in their company. So if the rules are set in the company to manufacture a component, those standards or the rules are nothing but the company standards. Got an idea? So rules are set in a company to manufacture a product of their company, then those rules are nothing but the company rules or company standards. Okay. So the national standards. So these standards are those or the rules which are set by a particular nation. For example, in our India, for example, in our India, we the traffic rules. So traffic rules are controlled by RTO, right? So you go anywhere in India, so the rules are that traffic rules are controlled by the RTO only. So in the same way, whatever the companies, okay. So if a nation sets some rules to manufacture a component, then those standards becomes a national standards. Got it? So then coming to the international standards. So these are the set of rules which are accepted all over the world. Suppose if you want to play cricket or football or any other sports, so in order to do that sports and all, first rules will be set. So this is what an international standards. So all the cricket, football, and every sports you can say. So these in order to play sports, first they will set a rules. What is the, for example, if I consider cricket as an example, then here the boundary will be set. What is the distance between the wickets and all, 30-yard circle and all. So these are all the rules set by the sports coordinator or international standards. So these are all the standards are nothing but international standards. The same example you can make it to the manufacturing also. Suppose if a company company is manufactured some particular part, so if that is accepted all over the world, then that becomes an international standards. So standards are going to be very important role in manufacturing a products. Okay. Then what are the benefits of standardization? Why we need to go for a standardization? One is availability. So if I go for standardization of a particular component when we are manufacturing, then the material parts availability will be more. So I can manufacture in India, I can manufacture in US or UK or any Australia, whatever the country you take, the material availability will be more if I go for a standardization, right? So second advantage is reduction in the variation. So we are manufacturing a component based on the rules set by the world, you can say, right? So any international standards and all. So once we manufacture a product by taking the rules set by the different countries, then definitely the variation will be reduced. So if I buy that material or component in India or Australia or any New Zealand, so the variation will not be there. Whatever the product you are buying here, the same will be the size and shape of that particular component in the different countries also. So hence reduction in the variation will be there. Then next advantage is reduction in the scrap. So as we are manufacturing a component with the help of the rules, then scrap will be reduced. Definitely the scrap will be reduced. So this is going to be the very important key for a standardization. Then elimination of a bottleneck. So once the scrap is reduced, then we will not be in a difficulty in the conditions and all when we are manufacturing. So bottleneck or difficulty will not be there, hence it eliminates, right? Then reduction in the manufacturing time. So once the scrap is reduced, right, we can manufacture that particular component at a faster rate, and hence the time to take the manufacturing will be reduced. Hence reduction in the manufacturing time will be we can achieve with the help of a standardization. Then last one is increase the customer satisfaction. So at the last, when we are manufacturing or designing anything, the customer satisfaction will be the most important. So based on the customer satisfaction only, we are changing our objectives, right? So now if the manufacturing time is reduced, then the delivery required for the customer will be at the given time or date only. So the customer can get the product when he needs. Hence once the manufacturing time is reduced, so delivery will be more easy and customer satisfaction will be achieved with the help of a standardization. Okay, so these are the things we needed to discuss in this particular class. So in the next class we will try to discuss the principal stresses and principal strains. Okay.